So, let's have a little sit down and talk about this car. Welcome to Popalong RC. Today is a bit of a special video for me really, because a few years ago I was lucky enough to run a 10th technology Predator. When I say 10th technology, it really was. It was a pretty much stock Predator. There was a couple of little bits and pieces on there, and I ran this car at Revival at, now where was it? It was at Broxton. Yeah, and I think that was about 3 years ago. So, little story behind that, because some of you might not know, because we've had lots of subscribers since then, so you might not even have seen that particular video. For those of you that don't know, we have a good friend of the channel. We call him Pitman Daves. Super nice guy, and he's got just as many cars, if not more, than Carl and I actually put together. And occasionally he will drop me a text message and say, I think I've got something for you boys to feature on the channel. Hence the reason we used that car back then. Now, for those of you that don't know, that is one of the most, I would say, sought after four-wheel drive buggies, even now really. But it was the car of its day, way ahead of its time. I certainly never had one back in the day. The most I had was, and I'll get it now, it was this one here. And this is, of course, the old Dave Meteor. This was the car that I started with, and this is courtesy of RC Steve, another really amazing guy who's really supported us, so thanks to you as well. So if you haven't seen the video of me running that, have a little look, because that's super nice to run, and that's very old school. But this video is not about this, it's about this car here. So as I say, I ran that car at Revival. And the thing that I really did notice is its handling capabilities. It was it was a better car than I am driver, to be quite honest with you. And I ended up doing pretty well with it. I didn't win, never going to win, but I thoroughly enjoyed using it. People would say to me, is it going to get you through the race meeting? Although the car was the car of its day, it was awfully fragile at the time. And I am pleased to say it got me through the race meeting, and yeah, it was a great car to run. Anyway, to the present day. If you've seen here, this here is another Predator. This one here is slightly different. It has a few upgrades on it. I don't know much about this car, to be quite honest with you. Dave was kind enough to let us have this car, and I haven't run it yet. I'm going to talk you through all the bits that I've done to it and such. The main difference with this car is the diffs in it. The rear and the front are the upgraded diffs. I'm not too sure which one. If you know what one they are, Dave, let me know, and I'll stick it in the description. So this should be fairly hardy. This car should be fairly hardy. So if you ask me, I think it's one of the best looking cars ever produced. It was way ahead of its time with its laid down shock configuration. The shocks on this one are upgraded, and this car's going to be run modified. I have decided for now that's the way I want to go with it, just to do something a little bit different and to see how hard I can actually push this car. So without further ado, I'll take the old top off, the old body shell, and I'll show you what we got inside. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Gav Graphics, because when I get landed a nice car like this, I think it needs a pro painted body shell, and he's a great guy, super talented, and always does me body shell. So massive thanks to you, dude, if you're watching. So let's get the old top off, and I'll show you what we've got inside. Okie dokes. Now the interesting thing, the steering mechanism on this is quite like the steering on this. It's kind of old school. Well, it's an old school car, isn't it? Let's be honest. So it's a push rod configuration on this one, and I've just bent it so you've obviously got it doesn't bind as it goes through. So that's the most difficult thing I think to get right on this car, to be quite honest. So what have we got in there? We've got a Savox servo, just a normal standard servo that I like to use. We have got the Orca Modstream 8.5. If you don't know, our chosen electrics of choice on the channel are Orca and Hobbywing. We use those ones. They're our trusted favourites. I would have used an Orca ESC in this, however, I haven't got one. So the ESC in this one is the Hobbywing XR10 Pro Legacy. Now, does anybody know what that actually means, Pro Legacy? What's the difference? I have no idea. Maybe it's a higher amperage. I don't know. Anyway, that's the combination that we're going to go with in this. I will, at some point, obviously, put in a 10.5, because I will probably compete with a few vintage events, and we know that that's the limit. But for now, I just wanted to see how much I can push the car, to be quite honest with you. So obviously the laydown shock design is absolutely brilliant. You've got these rocker designs here. Sorry, rocker mechanisms, I should say, here. And obviously the ones at the back there. From the front view, you've got the wing on the front, always distinguishes it as a Predator. The one that I used at Revival had the original front wing and the original rear wing actually, which was pretty cool. But this is a little bit upgraded. So I haven't run it yet, but I am going to do so very, very shortly. One thing to look at here, look at this. How nice is that? This is the Orca sensor cable. That is absolutely a beautiful touch, I think. Now, I haven't shortened any of the wires purely because I might want to use the electrics in something else. I'm not too sure. Right, here's the interesting bit. So the interesting bit is I have got absolutely zero spares for this car, and that's where I need your help. Now, I am aware there are at least 2 companies at the moment, you know, doing re-re's of this car. Hopefully they're going to be due out this year. Paul Lomas over at Vintage Running Spares, I know, does some spares for this car, but does anybody else know who does spares for this car? Drop it in the comments below, please. But there's not a great deal to kind of talk to you. I mean, you know, the pictures, you know, speak for themselves, to be quite honest with you. The thing I like, look how thin these top wishbones are there, or suspension arms, or whatever you want to call them. You know, I guess it's all to do with aerodynamics and such, but I've got a little bit of setup to do. If you look there, that's kind of drooping a little bit more than it should, so I've got a little bit of setup to do. I've just basically put all the electrics in it, thrown everything together, and I think it's going to be an interesting project trackside, just to see how I can get the thing handling. But super duper nice, and thoroughly looking forward to getting this on track. So let's just admire this show again. Come on, how nice is that? A little bit of a hack for you guys if you didn't know. Now, pro painted shells are lovely, however they can get scratched fairly easily. So what I tend to do, I don't know if anybody else does it, is get masking tape on all the little bits where it's poking up, and because it does scratch off fairly easily, this stuff. Put some tape on it. Now obviously here at the front it's gone a bit, but you can't see it, and that's because of the front shock design here. So you can't have it all, but that's been quite a nice little hack for me, and it works. I do it with all of my pro painted body shells these days. But there you go, that is the Predator, ready to rock and roll and hit the track very, very soon. Ah, the dog's joining me again. We've got the aircon in here, so he likes to come in here and kind of help me out a little bit. He's a good lad. Anyway, back to the video. So there you go. Not a lot to talk about. I think we need to just hit the track with this thing and just blog it kind of running. I'm kind of hoping to take this... Go on then, out you go. That dog needs to make up his mind. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I'm hoping to take this out at our local and give it a good old rinse out on the track in the 4-wheel drive mod class and see how it gets on. I think it's going to do all right. But like I say, if you know anybody banging out the spares for these cars, let me know. If anybody wants to sponsor, you know, the running of this car, get in touch. So I'm going to leave you with the Predator, the mighty Predator, not this one, the one we used at Revival. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of footage of that running. In the meantime, if you like what you see, like, subscribe, hit the old ding dong bell, and we'll see you on another video.
Okay, that car did not sound healthy as it come past me there. Is Steve going to make it to the end of the race? Oh, it does not sound good. He's crashed it before the line. I see, there's Mark. Mark's car is sounding smooth. So, if Mark keeps it clean, he's about half a lap behind Steve at the moment. But you can hear Steve's car go past there. It is not sounding healthy. So I don't think he's going to make it to the end of the round, which will bump Mark up.
Steve Davis going to resemble a character from the Ninja Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's definitely called Shredder.